Okay, in this video we're going to be talking about natural logarithms. We have been doing common logarithms and now we're going to do natural. So in the calculator it will look like ln. Okay, ln. This is different from a common logarithm because this base is going to be an e base, where a common logarithm base was always a 10. E represents the decimal like 2.17 and there's a bunch of other numbers. 10 is just a 10. So they just have two different bases in them. Okay, so it's going to be e of x. This time e of x is going to represent the inverse of ln of x and vice versa. Okay, so they're going to be the opposites of each other. Okay, rather than it being when we did log base, its opposite was whatever the base was became the base of my exponential, and then whatever this was became this. Now, since ln of x has a base of e, its exponential is going to be e to the x, so that 2.17 and so on and so forth. Okay, so they're going to be opposites of each other. Okay, so we're going to condense them the exact same way. So this 2 I can send backwards to make it an exponent. That division sign means we're going to divide. 75. Okay, so then 5 squared is going to get me, or that's 15 squared. Whoop. Holy smokes. 15 squared is going to get me 225 divided by 75. So 225 divided by 75, I get ln of 3. So we're going to condense it and expand it the exact same way we can with logarithms. Okay, so the next one, we got to send this 2 back. So I got natural log of 7 plus natural log of 5 squared. That plus sign means we are multiplying. So I got 7 times 5 squared, which gets me the natural log of 175. Okay, so my next one, we got to send the 2 back and the 3 back. So I'm going to get natural log of x cubed minus natural log of 2x. The whole thing is squared. That 2 is attached to both of those. Okay, so if I simplify that, that's 2x times 2x because it means it's written twice. So I got 4x squared. When I take 2x times 2x, I get 4x squared. And then the subtraction signs means we are dividing. So I got x cubed over 4x squared. If I simplify my x's, I would get 1x left on top and a 4 left on bottom. Okay, we got to send our 4 back, send our 2 back. So I have the natural log of x to the 4th minus the natural log of 5 squared. The minus sign means we're going to divide. So I'm going to get x to the 4th over 5 squared. 5 squared represents 25. Okay, I said that the natural log and e were inverses of each other, which means they're opposites of each other, kind of like squaring and square rooting. So this is an example of if I have both of them sitting next to each other, they cancel. What I have left is what my answer is going to be. So we're going to be using natural log and exponential to cancel things so that we can start solving them. Okay, so the opposite of natural log is my exponential. So what I do to one side, I need to do to both sides. So it will cancel on this side. And then in my calculator, I will type second natural log to get the e squared. So I'm going to get 7.39 as my answer. Okay, so this one, I do the e to both sides. It cancels it on here, so I have 4x plus 10 equals e cubed this time. You could figure out what this decimal is and then go ahead and solve it, or we could solve it normally. So I got 4x is equal to e cubed minus 10. Divide everything by 4. So I got x is equal to e cubed minus 10 divided by 4. So my calculator, I would type in second ln to get the e cubed. I have to end my parentheses so that minus 10 is not connected to it. Minus 10, I press enter, divide that answer by 4. Okay? So then I got x is equal to 2.52. Okay, if for some reason you wanted to do it all at once without pressing enter and dividing by 4, you need to make sure this is in parentheses. Otherwise, it will just take 10 divided by 4 right there and stick the e cubed with it. Okay, this one it looks like we need to condense it first. So this plus sign means we are multiplying, so 2 times x. Okay, once I condense it, I can then try to start moving away the natural log. So I'm going to take the e to both sides, the exponential, so it cancels on my left side. I got e to the 5th. I need to divide by 2. So in my calculator, I'm going to type in e to the 5th divided by 2. So second ln to get the e button to the 5th. I need to end my parentheses if I have them in there, so then I can divide it by 2. This time I get 74.21. Okay, this time I have an e. So when I solve it to get rid of the exponential, the e, I need to do the natural log. So first off, let's go ahead and condense this up. So let's subtract 2. The last step I want to do is do the natural log. So then I get 14. We're going to divide by 4. So e to the 2x is equal to 14 over 4. You could simplify that if you want to, but I'm going to type it in my calculator anyways. Okay. The opposite of exponential is the natural log. So this time I'm taking the natural log of both sides. So it cancels on this side. I got 2x is equal to the natural log of 14 over 4. And then I still need to divide everything by 2. So I'm going to type in the natural log of 14 divided by 4 over 2. So natural log of 14 divided by 4. I need to end my parentheses if I have them in there. I could press divided by 2 as long as this whole thing is together. Or I could press enter and divide that answer by 2. So I should get 0.63. Okay, my next one. Looks like I don't need to condense anything and move it around. I can go ahead and do my next step. I cannot add this 2 because it's in the power of the exponential, so we need to get rid of it so that I can add that 2. So it cancels. I now have x minus 2 equals the natural log of 12. To get x by itself, we add 2. So natural log of 12 plus 2. So I type in the natural log of 12. I end my parentheses if I need to make sure that plus 2 is on the outside. And I get x is equal to 4.48. Okay, it looks like e is not by itself, so to get it by itself first we need to divide by 2 to get 10. Take the natural log of both sides to get rid of the e, so I got negative x of natural log of 10. To get rid of the negative, to make the x by itself, we divide by negative 1. So I got negative natural log of 10, so negative natural log of 10. I get x to equal negative 2.30. Okay, this one we need to condense it a little bit to get e by itself. So first get rid of the things not attached to it. So we're going to subtract that 5 to get 10. Now I can take the natural log of both sides to get 3x is equal to the natural log of 10. X is still not by itself, so we're going to go ahead and divide. So I type in the natural log of 10 and my parentheses divided by 3. It's equal to 0.77. Okay, it looks like e is by itself, so we're just going to take the natural log of both sides. So it cancels on the left side. I got the natural log of 3/4. So I type in the natural log of 3 divided by 4, and I get x to equal negative 0.29. Okay, it looks like we need to move the things not attached to it first, so let's go ahead and subtract this 1 to get 6. Divide by 5 to get 6 over 5. E is now by itself, so we can take the natural log of both sides. So it cancels on this side, so I got 4x is equal to the natural log of 6 over 5. And then we're going to have to divide that by 4. So I got x is equal to the natural log of 6 over 5 divided by 4. So I'm going to type in the natural log of 6 divided by 5. I'm going to press enter and then divide it by 4. So this time I got x to equal 0.046.